You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver. What the hell is that? Podcast.
Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast, second episode. Let's see if we can get through this intro without the confuffering and the anger of the last episode. Beef sent us a warning beforehand that said he was going to come in all cheesed off and angry, and you know what? I came in all jolly bean, jolly hootenannies, and just happy-go-lucky smiles, and then somebody stuck a stick of dynamite in my sphincter, lit it, and blew my rectum out, and I got all cranky and shafted. So, you know, I apologize for the crankiness in the first show, and also, if you happen to know anybody with a size 3 sphincter, I am in the market for one. Welcome to the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast. We're going to do wrestle talk. No more sphincter talk from me today, other than that last bit about my sphincter and that one. Poot the Bard is here. Beef the Legend is here. I am Ransom. You know me. I have this big dumb mouth. We have a special guest, much to the chagrin of the P3 boys and mainly Beef. We do have the new Cruiserweight champion, as much as it pains me to say, with us. Pat, the mid-card maniac, has joined us on the show. Pat, say hello.
Hello out there.
Great. That was very champion-like. It was just very, very regal and royal. Fix your mic if you're going to hold our belt and come on this show. You just get. Hey, do we have to talk about the draft, right?
We do, but I just really want to say it was really nice of the Maniac to come in from 2001 with the quality of sound. Just awesome, champ. Thanks.
Stop calling him champ. He's not the champ. I'm the champ.
Okay,
Pat,
not champ.
Pat, you're gonna get shit on the show. It's nothing personal. It's just
Definitely personal.
It's not personal for two of us. It's personal for one. You thieved.
You stole my title.
Like a beef at the end of a sophomore semester. You have thieved something from someone.
It was a freshman semester, sir.
It was my freshman. It was your sophomore. We weren't the same grade, you shithead. I mean, it was your freshman because you were there 8 years after I was for the same degree. But that's neither here nor there. Pat, you thieved from us. While we are happy that you participate in the show, and we're happy that you constantly send in, because if it wasn't for you, occasionally Dave, but 99% you, we wouldn't have Stump the Chumps to do. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you're always participating in the Cruiserweight Open. I'm happy, genuinely, that you do that. However, fix your truck, sir. Stupid loud Mordor. I am a little
racing.
It fucking is. I feel a little bit of besmirchment towards you for making off like a thief in the night with our dear, sweet Cruiserweight Championship that I hope you continue to challenge for, but deep down in the cackles of my cold, dead heart, I hope you lose to one of us.
No, just remember I beat the place to get on. So.
I'm sorry, Boonstar. I didn't understand a word you said.
You sound exactly like one of those analog horror videos on YouTube.
What do we have to talk about this episode? I don't even know. Are we not talking about the draft? I thought we were going on further detail.
Yeah,
we went off the reins on the picks episode, and we started talking about the stupid draft.
Can I say some good news, though, before we get into draft and all that stuff? Can I say good news related to AEW?
Of course.
Okay.
Sure.
Just Champ, is that okay?
Of course it is.
I'm sorry. I'm not talking to you, not Champ. I'm talking to Champ.
I know. I said it's fine.
It must be so nice to be delusional.
It also must be nice to have dial-up internet. Anyway, so anyway, this was a tweet from Tony Khan, and I'm going to read it verbatim. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Thanks to the amazing support from our fans. Hashtag AEW All in London at Wembley Stadium just hit 50,000 tickets pre-sold in the amount of 5.2 million pounds, i.e., converting would be $6.5 million. Remarkably, all 50,000 tickets sold have been in pre-sale. So Wembley Stadium, in case you don't know, holds around 90,000. So over half in pre-sales.
Holy crap.
Holds, yes. So theoretically, guys, this is before seatings for the public opens up tomorrow. So theoretically, and I'm not trying to talk super puffery here. Has anyone here ever watched Queen at Live Aid?
No.
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Okay, so look up either Queen or the band Extreme at Live Aid. It was a thing that was held at Wembley Stadium. It was basically every large rock band in the world coming together. It was broadcast at multiple locations, but Wembley Stadium was like the core of it. Imagine that, but for AEW, we could be having legitimate, not that AEW hasn't done stuff to be remembered in the annals of wrestling history, but this could be like fuck you wrestling history. It really could. Now I know what you're gonna say. SummerSlam with Brett and the
92.
Bulldog. I get it.
Yep.
But the thing is, that's my point. Is that we're bringing that up. It could be that for AEW. It could sit right next to in that history. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's
it
my
wouldn't
point.
surprise me if they sold out tomorrow once they open up to general sales.
Here's the question. WWE in 1992 sold like 90,000 or 86,000, whatever it ended up being, tickets to a show, and then never went back. It never once crossed WWE's mind to be like, hey, we should take WrestleMania to Wembley Stadium. We should take a pay-per-view to Wembley Stadium. No. They're like, we did SummerSlam. We're good.
Yeah, why didn't they?
30 years later, we're finally, I guess Insurrection was there in like the late 90s. So I guess there was a pay-per-view over there.
Oh, okay. That was in Wembley?
No, that was in England. Like finally, and that's literally probably been about almost 20 years. They're getting back over there for another pay-per-view with Money in the Bank. And that's kind of odd. Again, when you consider and you call yourself the worldwide leader in sports entertainment for over 50 years, and you only hold major shows in one country. And yes, they've absolutely branched out. Now they're doing shows in Saudi Arabia, which we're all big fans of. They had a couple shows in Australia that weren't bad. They had NXT crossover special in Japan. But for the most part, you're running shows in one country, maybe two, counting Canada. And that's a rare occasion. I don't get this whole worldwide thing. That's why, to kind of, bring it back around, I'm happy that they're doing Backlash in San Juan. I'm excited for them to do Money in the Bank over in the O2 in London. I want them to do shows in Mexico. I want them to do shows in Japan. I want to see them be the worldwide leader. Because I'll tell you this, you know why AEW already has 50,000 tickets pre-sold over at Wembley?
Because British people are huge wrestling fans.
That, and because AEW is free TV over there, you got to pay to see WWE. It makes sense. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. AEW's got a big following over there. So everybody who came out and was like, Tony Khan's an idiot for running a big stadium show, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're going to have any problems packing that stadium.
They'll probably my guess is they'll probably peter out around 60 to 70,000, which is still a WrestleMania-sized audience. You know, I know what WWE likes to do with their numbers. They like to puff them up, fluff them up like you do on a porn video with the dicks. They like to make them look bigger.
I got a
with the dicks. We got a problem up with the dicks.
Okay.
They like to fluff their numbers, but like I think that Tony Khan is legit going to have WrestleMania numbers. I hope they hit 80 to 90,000.
You don't think they will though?
I don't think they'll hit 90,000 sold. They might hit 90,000 in the venue, but I think that some of those tickets will be comped. So that's just, but here's the real fucking like the real icing on the cake. Mike Coppinger, who's an ESPN boxing guy, for whatever reason, tweeted out that the venue would be like sketched out for 40,000 fans, and Tony Khan was immediately on him, being like, "Hey, fuck you, man! Like, don't come out here reporting bullshit numbers just because you're in bed with fucking Nick Khan." And I guess him and Khan have a history, a positive history. But like Coppinger reported that out, and then he came out, and then fucking Saraya came out with it, like it. And then obviously, like, yeah, now he looks like the biggest fucking jackass in the world, that they've sold 10,000 more than they were apparently gated for.
Wow.
Well, shouldn't open your mouth.
Yep, and that's that's sports reporting in the United States. That's how we do. It's fucking ready, fire, aim in this country.
Wow.
Ready, fire, aim.
It is. It absolutely is. Like,
I'm sorry.
Like the fucking quote unquote sports journalist reported Aaron Rodgers being traded to the New York Jets about 8 weeks before it happened. Like it went through a lot of fucking ups and downs, and people were like, "Oh man, this may not actually happen," but like people were reporting it that day, done deal. So yeah, I mean, we, sports journalists in this country, and I use the word journalist very, very, very lightly, are absolutely all about fucking just stupid headline grabbing shit, and they don't fucking know what they're doing anymore.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that they have the numbers in pre-sale that they already do.
Absolutely,
that's very
absolutely.
positive.
Stunning even.
Champ, how do you feel about that?
What happened?
Champ, as always.
Champ?
Did the Matrix just get Pat?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, there you are. Okay.
All right. No, that's great for AEW.
Succinct as always. Thanks, Champ. No,
Pat, we love you. We love you.
To be fair, and Pat has. To be fair. Pat has, on numerous occasions said he's not like an AEW guy. WWE is kind of his bread and butter. So I get it. But
that's fair.
It is, and I think more than anything, I think it's good for the sport. I think it's good to see again a worldwide audience really being engaged. Especially post COVID. Like I think that I think there was a lot of ramp up. So yeah, I'm here for all of them, man. I might be an AEW Kyle every now and again, but I'm here for all of it. I really am. But let's not belabor the point of the WWE draft. I'm gonna break down the rosters for you real quick, like. I'm not gonna go like round by round. I'm just gonna give you what they are currently. On Raw, we have Cody Rhodes, Becky Lynch, Imperium, Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Shinsuke Nakamura, NXT Women's Champion former NXT Women's Champion Indy Hartwell, Apollo Crews, Candice LeRae, Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green, Dexter Lumis, JD McDonough from NXT, Maximum Male Models, Mace and Mansoor, Maxine Dupree, Natalya, the Viking Raiders, Zoe Stark, Rhea Ripley, Seth freaking Rollins, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Judgment Day, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, The New Day, which is only Xavier and Kofi, which made me sad, Trish Stratus, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Alpha Academy, KC Squared, which is Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, one of my favorite tag teams in NXT, Akira Tozawa, Dana Brooke, Emma, Indusher, which is Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Sangha, Johnny Gargano, Los Lotharios, which is Angel and Humberto Carrillo, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo.
Angel Garza is still kicking around WWE?
He absolutely is.
Fuck yeah, man.
He's super young. He still got a chance. Nikki Cross, Odyssey Jones, Piper Niven, Riddick Moss, Tegan Nox, Xia Li. SmackDown, The Bloodline, which is Reigns, Solo, Paul Heyman, Bianca Belair, The Street Profits, Edge, Lashley, The OC, which is AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Mia Yim, Damage Control, Bayley, Io Sky, Dakota Kai, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, the NXT Tag Team Champions, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, excuse me.
That's Isla Dawn. I'm not being smart. It's Isla Dawn.
No, yeah, you're right. Michael Cole said it like 87 times. He said Isla Dawn, and it killed me every time. So yes, Isla Dawn, excuse me. Lacey Evans, Austin Theory, Charlotte Flair, the Usos, the LWO, Asuka, the Brawling Brutes, Karrion Kross and Scarlett, LA Knight, Shotzi, Pretty Deadly, yes boy, Rick Boogs, Cameron Grimes, Tamina, and Grayson Waller are all SmackDown.
Voila!
We talked at the end of the last program that yes, Brock Lesnar is a free agent, as are Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Von Wagner, Omos, MVP not selected. In addition, not selected were Baron Corbin, Elias, Cedric Alexander.
He got it. He corrected it.
Shelton Benjamin and NXT call-up Zion Quinn. None of them were selected. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily free agents that can bounce between shows, because I don't think anybody's clamoring to walk with Elias in 2023.
Which is that's a shame. They fucked that up, man. They fucked that up with Elias hard.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the draft over?
Rolling. Good job, Pat.
Damn it.
Yes, the draft is finished. Over, done with. They can always do trades, I'm sure.
So, follow-up question. The people that weren't selected, are they all considered free agents? And what the hell does that mean? Like, they can just do whatever, whenever, wherever, with who?
I think what it means is that they will likely have... There's like a reason that they weren't drafted. Maybe
What's
they're going to be more of like main event enhancement talent, like Ziggler, Mustafa Ali come to mind there.
Didn't you say Alexa Bliss was in that mix?
Alexa Bliss and Bray Wyatt, I don't know. Like, those two were pulled off the board purposefully.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I don't know why we're still like incorporating those two people together.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. Alexa Bliss was the biggest deal of like the initial, like the second iteration of the WWE draft, when she got to SmackDown and she was a house of fire and becoming champion very, very quickly. And did so on Raw too. I don't understand. Like, just stop it. Just stop it.
Stop connecting the two. They don't need connected.
Stop the whole fucking Lily thing. I understand. Oh, but we still don't. I don't fucking care. Stop.
Ugh.
Pretend it. Do what you do every other time, and just pretend that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Chris Masters comes out. We're supposed to pretend that Lex Luger didn't exist. Let's just do that again. Why not? So.
Oh Lord, I get, and this is shame on me. I am completely and utterly to blame here. So before I start this rant, I know this is my fault. I understand it. But I expected it to be I expected this to make sense. Like, I expected it to be like, oh, here's one brand, here's another. Oh, you want to list these people as free agents? Fine. But there are leftovers. This isn't fucking Thanksgiving. There are leftovers. Why are there leftovers? You couldn't have just had like a supplemental thing and said, oh, these people got drafted here, these people got drafted here. Like, what? Why? This doesn't make sense. I disagree with, aside from Brock Lesnar, I disagree with free agents. But I can't disagree with the people that weren't drafted. I just don't understand it. And again, I know it's my fault. I expected too much. But like, why couldn't you just do the thing and make it make sense?
Well,
why couldn't you just say, oh, okay, well, write it on the internet, WWE.com exclusive. Ugh.
I don't think that exists anymore.
Fuck.
I mean, it does exist, but look at the talent. And I use that term very loosely. Corbin, Elias, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, Zion Quinn. I'm not even sure who the fuck Zion Quinn is. Dolph Ziggler, Mustafa Ali, Von Wagner, Omos. Not
Fucking
a hotbed.
Wagner.
Not a hotbed.
He's not. He's not the Imperium guy, right?
No.
He was the guy that came out on NXT. During like the 2.0, he was the big fucking caveman looking guy.
He was the guy. He was the guy that everybody was like, he kind of looks like Edge.
Okay.
He's actually Bo Beverly's son.
Yeah, good. Who's that?
Same.
The fucking Beverly brothers, man.
Oh yeah.
Fucking champs got me. Thanks, Pat.
He called you champ. He called you champ. That's doctrine.
Fuck.
Well, put your foot in your mouth there, Beef.
Mouth foot.
But anyway, like, Dolph Ziggler is way past his apex.
He's still got tread on the. He's got tread on the tires, man.
He's going nowhere. They never did.
Ali is a guy who has been very noisy about not wanting to be there. Wagner has no clear direction. Oh yeah, he's asked for release like 2 or 3 times.
Numerous times.
Omos, we know what Omos is. Like we know what Omos is. Corbin is the guy that they've missed on 3 or 4 times. Same with Elias.
Yeah.
And Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin haven't been relevant since they were part of the Hurt Business. So I think
glad they just got rid of that stable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what they're telling you with those free agents is not that they're going to show up on both shows, because, like I said last episode,
they're going to show up on no shows.
Yeah, exactly. You're just not going to see them. They're just going to quietly. Now, guys like Baron Corbin, I think they'll find a spot for. It may not be now. Maybe he's hurt, or maybe they just don't have anything for them, and that's smart. God help me, I'm calling WWE smart.
Ugh.
If they don't have something for somebody, there's no point in drafting them to a show and people being like, oh, well, where's Baron Corbin? Oh, well, where's Bray Wyatt? I get it. There's no point in drafting them until they're ready. So, like, if you don't have anything for them, or if they're injured, absolutely, I'm fine with it. But I honestly, I want to allay your fears. I don't think we're going to get in a situation where you'll be seeing Elias on Raw and SmackDown. Like, Baron Corbin is not going to be appearing on both shows. I think that this is going to be a pretty hard line draft split, with the exception of maybe a trade happening here and there, with the exception of Mr. Money in the Bank, the Royal Rumble winners, and probably come Survivor Series, we're probably going to be seeing lots of fuckery. But for the most part, I think that it's going to be a hard and fast split.
Dude, can I ask first, like, what the fuck happened with Baron Corbin? Like, this, holy cow, man. Like, this dude, I feel like, has gotten the shaft so many times, and I just don't understand, like, can he not make people care about him? Like, is he pissing people off in the back?
No.
Like, it seems like he gets hot and then it just sinks. And then rinse and repeat. I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what happened to him.
I think a lot of it is I think a lot of it is wrong place, wrong time. And not for, and no offense to Baron Corbin, but like talent-wise, I'm not making the equation, but it's kind of like the same thing with Dolph Ziggler. It's a whole bunch of wrong place, wrong time, and not pulling the trigger.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
when I get, okay, trust me, as someone who shaves their head because nature took its fucking course, Baron Corbin, when he was down in NXT, was a fucking killer. He was a killer. And I love the gimmick, his theme, like the whole 9 yards was awesome. And then
As so many of them were.
And then he got up to the main roster, and what happened? Vince McMahon got his fucking greasy mitts on him. And,
well, I think that we can all. I think that we can trace this all back to the Baron Corbin sad stomach memes.
Oh God, I forgot about those.
I think that Vince was absolutely high on the guy. He's a pro athlete. I think
legit
he played
football.
I know he played college. I don't know if he played.
He played pro.
Sports, but,
he played pro.
Did he? Okay.
Yep.
So like and he's a tall dude. He's decent size. Like he's got all the fixings of what Vince McMahon likes, and I think that Vince was very, very big on him. That's why he got drafted. That's why he got pulled up, and then, yeah, like I think that the Baron Corbin sad tummy meme started coming out. And I think that for all Vince's like undoings, I think that he probably knows a little bit more than we think he does. And so like I think he probably saw that as like a shot against him, and he's like, well, get this guy on a fucking diet and an eating plan, and maybe we'll see what we can do with him. And then they put him in a fucking GM slot. They had him fucking wearing a suit and tie all the time, or at least a fucking vest every match.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like it's very, and I mean he has not worn a shirt since. Like that is the absolute God's honest truth. So, and I mean, we know what happened with Keith Lee. Where again Triple H was super high on him.
You mean old Bearcat?
Vince never saw it because all Vince could see was a fat ass. Fuck the fact that he was moving around like a cruiserweight. Vince just didn't see money in him because he was fat. So, I and I'm not going to attribute it all to that. I think that what Poot said is accurate too. Wrong place, wrong time. But like, I just think that I don't know. I don't know. It is disappointing because absolutely, like when he had that, the lone wolf gimmick. And he had that like weird like who do you take you? It was a great theme. They put King of the Ring on him even, and it's just like they've tried with him. I think is that's I think is the crux of this. They gave him Money in the Bank, he lost against Cena. They gave him King of the Ring, he lost it to I think Shinsuke Nakamura. I think one of the only people I can remember putting King of the Ring on the line and losing it. And then like, the fucking sad Corbin memes, he was the third Andre the Giant Battle Royal winner.
Yeah.
He absolutely has been given chance. And then they put him in the GM role to get some charisma out of him. They give him King of the Ring. They tried and they've tried and they've tried.
They gave him chance after chance, but like, what happened though? Like, were the fans just not buying in?
Yeah, I just like he's not made that connection with the fans.
Okay.
People just don't care. They don't boo him. They don't cheer him. They just don't.
They just don't.
care.
They don't anything him. They don't nothing.
Right.
Okay.
But again, I think a lot of that is presentation. I don't think that's Corbin's fault. And apparently, like. Again, watching, like, the thing that breaks my heart about it is, like, watching, I don't know, Pat, have you ever watched Sheamus's YouTube channel? The Celtic Warrior workouts?
No.
You really should. It's a really cool, like, it's cool to see, like, a lot of WWE wrestlers outside their element, and, like, for anyone who does exercise or work out, that part's cool, too. But he did one with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin seems like one of the coolest fucking dudes in the world to hang out with. And he works, he busts his ass. That's the other thing. But I think that's what the sad tummy Baron Corbin. I like sad tummy. I think that's funny. Funnier than sad stomach. Sad tummy Baron Corbin. Like that, I think made him bust his ass even harder. And he did lean down a little bit. Like, I mean, he busts his ass. He works really hard. He has, what do they call it? Failure to launch, I think is the term.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Pat, if you had to pinpoint one thing about Baron Corbin that you think that has caused him not to be successful, do you have any insight on what any opinions on the good Sir Baron Corbin?
No, I think you said it plain and clear. The fans just can't get behind him. They don't like him, but they don't hate him either. It's just okay. He's there. Let him do his match and move on to the next one.
Yep. They're literally sitting on their hands. They're going to buy a hot dog. They're going to buy a Coke. They're going to buy some popcorn. They could give a shit less that Baron Corbin is wrestling.
Yeah.
And say what you will about Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, John Cena, Hulk Hogan. The list goes on. All of these men elicit a reaction. And when you stop getting a reaction, that is the death knell to your push. And it's just, he's... I know we talk about white-faced baby meat a lot, but, I feel like he's very vanilla. If you made
He's
a
bland.
guy... He is. If you made a guy in... I'm shocked how long this Baron Corbin conversation is going, but, I mean, it's good. He's a guy, if you sat down to make a creator wrestler in WWE 2K, the majority of the people would probably have guys that look like that probably have movesets that look like his. A lot of big impact stuff that should be cool, but at the end of the day, just doesn't fit.
You say that, and it's funny because WWE 2K, what was it, 23? Was it 22? What was the one that we played, Beef? Was it 22?
22.
Yeah,
22.
2K22. You know what your creator wrestler's finish by default is?
The end of days?
The fucking end of days.
Wow.
That's funny as shit.
It is because when I was playing My Rise, I was like, oh, I can't wait to change this off of End of Days. But then I was like, that's really fucking powerful. I might just keep it. It's a great finish.
But he does the black hole slam, or the boss man slam, whatever you want to call it. He does a lot of backbreak, a lot of really big impact moves. And again, it's kind of like you're trying to build a creator wrestler. You're like, I want to have all the big moves. Give him the power bomb. Give him a pile driver. Give him a side slam. Like all my fucking flippy dudes would have the Canadian Destroyer and a reverse Hurricane Rana, and they'd just be breaking that shit out every match, which is ridiculous. Which is ridiculous to expect. No one should have, and that's it's like sorry, my voice is still blown out. It's like he tries too hard, but isn't trying hard enough, and those two things are like the fucking Dragon Ball Z Kamehamehas, just pushing against each other. And that's been his career. He has not found the happy medium. And
he found the happy, all right.
Until he's found the medium in that mid. But it's and I mean honestly, I think that we can have the same exact conversation about Elias. Yes, he was super over with the crowd at one point because the crowd are sheep and they just like to chant things.
Yeah.
Yes, Elias has a lot of decent charisma, but being Jeff Jarrett 2.0 was never going to work for him.
No.
Ezekiel was never going to work for him.
Oh gosh.
And again, he's a very vanilla guy. I honestly, if we're looking at those named free agents and we're saying who's the real miss, I mean, obviously outside of Ziggler, my first pick is Mustafa Ali. My second pick is Cedric Alexander. That dude in the Cruiserweight Classic basically went out and got himself a contract. He was not a contracted talent until the chants at the Cruiserweight Classic chanted his name after he won. Triple H came out from behind stage, like gave him the handshake and everything, and then when we were like, okay, he's made at this point.
If only he would have stayed on NXT, he would have been made.
He was not really in NXT, I don't think.
Shut up.
He was the Cruiserweight guy, so he was on 205 Live, and then I think he was just like slingshotted to Raw. And it's funny that he tags with Shelton Benjamin because like they have a very similar career trajectory, where like they were this young, impressive stud who could do these crazy fucking moves, and like you just you knew you were gonna get something special when you saw him, and they were brought up probably a little bit too soon. They shone too bright, and then they fell real hard.
Yeah.
But all the free agent talk aside, who do you think got the best of the draft? Which show is the show that you're like, I can't miss this?
Well, before we answer that, I do have one question.
Sure.
Concerning the women's champions. Are they going to flip-flop?
So we did talk about this a little bit in the last episode, but we didn't get into it a lot because I figured this was going to come up. The tea leaves that I've heard, and again, this is nothing solid at all. I don't even think I have a strong source for it. I've heard that the titles are probably going to be rebranded as the world title and the WWE title. Much like their men's counterparts, which I think is smart.
Good.
Obviously, they're going to need new belts because, Rhea can't have a blue belt on Raw, and, Bianca can't have a red belt on SmackDown. So I think when all is said and done, they're probably going to have new belts too.
Okay.
And again, I mentioned this on the last episode, but I think it would be a damn crime if this year-long reign of Bianca Belair, this historic reign of Bianca Belair's, ends by her handing the title over to Rhea, and vice versa. Like, yeah, it sucks for Rhea too, because Rhea worked really hard to get that SmackDown title from Charlotte Flair. But like, her reign is new enough that like it can, be okay. Bianca's reign, again, it is a historic reign. I don't know that anybody's had a longer reign in years, probably since Trish Stratus. So, for her to end that reign, and again, I get it. Like, the reign's not really ending; it's just shifting. Yes, okay, but like the record books would say, her reign with the Raw title ends on this date, and her reign with the SmackDown title begins on this date.
I think they're going to cook the books on that one, though. That's the thing. I don't think they're going to make that clear. I really do.
And like they'll have an asterisk in there, Oh well, Tom, we're on the show, Tom. Like I don't. There's like, yes, they'll have an asterisk. Like, yeah, Bianca Belair held the SmackDown title or the Raw title for 370 days before relinquishing it due to brand. But it's still gonna be an asterisk. It's still gonna be a but. And that's what I'm saying. If you just rebrand each woman's title, Bianca Belair's title becomes the WWE champ, the women's WWE championship, and Rhea's title becomes the world women's championship. I think that you avoid that because again, then the record books would continue Bianca's historic reign. That's just my 2 cents. Is it possible that at the end of Backlash they just hand each other the belts? Absolutely. That's absolutely something that could happen. I just pray that it's something that doesn't happen.
Little side piece here. If they rebrand them, I know we've talked about customized titles before, but I would love to see Rhea Ripley with a customized Judgment Day type women's title, because I think like their colors are awesome. I think their symbolism is awesome. And I think it would be neat to have her be the first woman champion that has that like customized title.
Sure.
I don't know. That's just me.
An iconic look. My only umbrage with that is that like you can't start a new like title championship
with a customized title.
Right, exactly. Like you can't do, so that's my only umbrage. Now, like if she holds the title for a year or even 6 months and then gets a custom title, okay, all right.
Yeah.
It would not shock me if if they do get new belts and the new belts that they get would be like echoes of the men's belts. Very similar to what NXT has done.
I would love to see a women's world championship echo big gold.
Right.
I would love that.
Like smaller, like it might look like the new big gold, but like smaller, probably with the white strap. And like again, WWE title, take the red off it, take the blue off it, put the logo there. If you're insistent on having that, slash WWE logo on that title like that, if that's going to be your title design moving forward, that's fine. Commit to it.
Yep.
Put it on a white strap or like a black background on a white strap and like call it the, women's WWE title. Done. End of list.
Yep.
I think that's where we're headed. Again, I can't say 100%, but I think that's where we're headed.
I would love that.
But yeah, so like which of these brands jump off to you guys? Like, which of these are the ones that you want to see?
For
me, I think it's Raw.
Yeah, sorry, absolutely.
Show your work.
I think Raw. I think Raw got the better end of the deal. I can't list off everybody that I think. I can't remember everybody that Beef said, but just from what I remember of him, roster reading, I feel like Raw got the better end of the deal there. I'm happy that they split off Judgment Day from Edge. I want that to be done so badly. I want that to be done. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think, honestly, I think it's all going to depend on what they do with the people. I think it's all going to depend on the storylines, the feuds, the programs that they put on. I think both brands have the opportunity to kill it, but it's all going to depend on the storyline. It's all going to depend on the story writing for me. The story writing can make or break a roster, and I think if they both have good story writing and interesting feuds, I think they could both do really, really well. And there might be a very hard time to distinguish which is the superior brand if they do right by storyline on both shows.
So I think that there's no question that Raw has the better mid card. You're talking guys like Gunther, you're talking guys like JD McDonough, Shinsuke Nakamura, Matt Riddle, Drew McIntyre. Hell, give me a fatal 4-way at SummerSlam: McIntyre versus Gunther versus Riddle versus Nakamura for the Intercontinental title. Hell yeah, I'm on board. SmackDown doesn't have a strong mid card. SmackDown has a very strong upper card though. They got the Bloodline, obviously. They got Edge, they got Lashley, they got AJ Styles. Theory I don't think is going to be in the mid card for much longer. I think he's going to be heading up there.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, their mid card guys are like Karrion Kross, LA Knight, Rick Boogs, Cameron Grimes, like Waller. But again, I don't think that Waller and Grimes are guys that are going to be in the mid card. So I think that SmackDown is going to be a strong, like, I want to say like main event show, but I don't, you know what I mean by that, like the main event guys.
Yeah.
And I think that Raw is going to be a strong, like, working man show, and I think there's a reason for that. I think that we're gonna view the Raw the World Championship as the working man's belt.
Well, I mean, if the WWE title stays on Roman Reigns, sure.
Right, and that's the other side of it, is that I think that they did what they did with SmackDown to give Roman Reigns more opponents to mow over the next maybe 11 months. You know, Edge, Lashley, Styles, Theory at some point, Rey Mysterio, Sheamus.
So you're saying they're giving him heavy hitters, like
they are
heavy hitters.
They are. They're giving him guys who are absolutely going to be main eventers, and I think that that's, you know. But here's the problem: Roman Reigns is never on SmackDown, or very rarely on SmackDown. He doesn't wrestle on SmackDown ever. I think that guys like AJ Styles are going to have to carry the brand. Mm-hmm. You know, Edge is a part-timer. We know that. So it's pretty much going to be Edge or Lashley and Styles trying to hold down the fort, and you know, guys like Theory and Cross trying to do what they can with it.
Let me pose this to you. It's a 3-panel Vince McMahon freaking out meme. Roman wins Money in the Bank. Cody wins at Night of Champions. Roman Reigns cashes in at SummerSlam and now has 3 world titles.
Stop it. Stop it.
What?
Stop.
I've seen that. So, but like I've seen, like, you know, them being like, oh, a new world title. Roman Reigns has entered the chat. Like, they're not that dumb. Like, this, Triple H straight up
what
said.
What did you just say? Did you just say they're not that dumb?
Yeah.
Damn it. Triple H has straight up said this world title exists because of Roman Reigns doesn't defend that title enough. There's no way they put a 3rd world title on Roman, right? Like,
there's no way Cody loses at WrestleMania.
Stop it right now.
Right?
There's no way Vince McMahon ever comes back to WWE after this mess.
Yeah, that one Raw after Mania, that was a one-off. Like, Vince isn't, he's not going to be doing script changes. Like, he's high level. Like, he's not going to be doing any of that stuff, right? Right, guys?
Guys? Yeah, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be hard pressed to believe it, but I'm not going to say it's never going to happen, and then they're not that stupid, because, I mean, wait for it. Just wait for it. Survivor Series. Wait till they get to Survivor Series. Champion versus champion.
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah.
I'll say this. It would not shock me if that was Roman Reigns' first singles loss in 3 years. Champion versus champion.
I don't think it'll happen. I think his first singles loss will be when he loses the belt. Because I think they're gonna extend the reign of him as a champion, no pun intended, for as long as they can, and they're going to extend the whole never been beat until he's beat for the title. Like, I don't see it happening.
Maybe.
And also, when are they going to get rid of 2 belts on him?
I think that's coming too.
Like, world title, we stop it.
They're like, so everything goes into effect on Monday, May the 8th. So I think that maybe even at Night of Champions, he might debut a new belt. Because that is going to be his crowning achievement, right? The 1,000-day reign. So like I think that that's coming sooner than later.
Good.
Absolutely. It's time because that title's been around. Trying to think when it was introduced. Probably. Oh God.
14 or 15?
Yeah, that I was thinking 11 or 12, but you might be closer to that with that time frame. You guys know how my mind works, WrestleMania. So I'm trying to think of who held,
Well, I'm thinking
who came
WrestleMania
out.
29 when The Rock had it. And it
You're
had
100% right. Yep.
that big gold champion underneath it.
Yep.
And then I think WrestleMania 30 it was changed to what it is now.
You are 100% correct. That The Rock at WrestleMania 28 when he won it, because CM Punk when he beat CM Punk because CM Punk held the big stupid like spinner without the spinner title.
Yep.
And then the minute
Right.
The Rock won it, he brought that new belt in. So yep, you're 100% correct. That's the exact same time frame too. So yeah, like we're going on almost a decade. It's time for a change.
Yeah.
So
Get rid of the two belts. He doesn't need this anymore now that it's considered one championship officially, and we have a world heavyweight title. No, we don't need two belts.
Nope.
Put it away. Put it in your pocket.
I want to talk, and maybe it's just me, but there were absolutely some glaring omissions from NXT that I thought were like absolute,
Like shoe-ins,
de facto was going to happen.
such as
Braun Breaker or Carmelo Anthony. I think that either one of those. I know that Melo just won the title. I get it, but so did Indy Hartwell.
That's true, but Indy
Carmelo Hayes. I think Carmelo Anthony's a basketball player, not Carmelo Hayes, but yes, Carmelo Hayes.
I was gonna let that slide, being like, wait, am I crazy?
No.
I'm glad you said something though, because I started thinking to myself, I know there's a Carmelo Hayes. I have no idea who Carmelo Anthony is.
Yeah, he's a basketball player.
I get what you're saying about.
That's why I don't know who he is. I'm in sports.
I get what you're saying about Indy Hartwell. Like, I absolutely understand that. Like, you're like, well, that the whole thing with Indy Hartwell, but like, yeah, okay. Indy Hartwell's had a longer tenure than Melo, and also Melo is money, and NXT needs money.
I don't know, man. Like, and I mean, like, okay, if not Melo, then Braun. And the other big one,
of all people,
the other big one that shocked the hell out of me, especially given what happened recently, is Roxanne Perez. Roxy is fucking ready-made. Like, she was trained by Booker T. She was, I think, the initial Women of Honor champion. She has had a storied career, and she's still super fucking young. And I'm like, okay, when they took the title off of her prior to Stand and Deliver, I was like, okay, maybe they're just building it up so she can come back and win it. Nope. Okay. Maybe they're just, okay, maybe they're going to keep her in title picture for now. And then, like, maybe they're going to have her beat Indy Hartwell. Nope. Oh, maybe they're going to have her, go to the main. Nope. So I have no idea what they're doing with Roxanne Perez now. Other than, if unless she's the one to hold the title next. But, like, that was my, like, Roxanne Perez, Roxy, whatever you want to call her. She was absolutely one that I was like, she's going. She is main roster bound. And Braun Breaker, I guess, is still a little gray. Green? Gray?
Great.
You heard me. He's still a little green. So, like, I get wanting to keep him in development a little bit longer. But, like, yeah, like Roxy, no, she was ready. and the fact that they pulled Indy shocked me. I feel bad for the NXT women's tag team division, unless they're completely scrapping it, which I think is what might be happening, because with Isla Dawn and what was Kaylee Ray's new name? Poot, help. Alba Fire.
Help.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
With them coming up, and with Caden Carter and Katana Chance coming up, like, yeah, that, there's no reason to have women's tag team division in NXT anymore.
Nope.
So I think what's probably going to happen is the titles that Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are bringing up are probably going to be the SmackDown women's tag team titles, or the WWE women's titles, and the belts that Raquel and Liv hold are going to be the World Women's Tag Team titles.
Okay, that would make sense.
And then again, like we're about to find out how deep the WWE women's rosters are. I look at some of these names, like you have SmackDown's pretty light on women. Like, they have Bianca. They have the tag team champs, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They have B-Fab, B-Fab. Lacey
God.
Evans, Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Zelina Vega, and Shotzi.
I don't, like, you said that's pretty light, but I mean, that's not the leanest it's ever been, dude.
Well, I mean, compared to here's Raw, Indy, Candice LeRae, Sonya, Chelsea Green, Maxine Dupree, Natalya, Zoe Stark, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Trish Stratus, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, forgot about her, Shayna Baszler, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, Dana Brooke, Emma, Nikki Cross, Piper Niven, Tegan Nox, Xia Li.
I mean,
that's a big difference, though.
No, and that's the thing. It's a big difference, but if you take it in a bubble, it's not the worst it's ever been.
Both in terms of talent and in terms of just, people. Like, they could absolutely scratch together a tag team with, like, Piper Niven and Nikki Cross, because they're both, like, the Welsh, Scottish, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously they have Rousey and Baszler together. Obviously they have K2 squared. Dana Brooke and Emma could be a thing. Tegan Nox and Dana Brooke could be a thing.
Dana Brooke and anybody can be a thing, because who cares?
Well, unfortunately that's true. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville, they're trying to, pair those two up. So, like, they have a lot of ready-made teams on Raw. They don't have anybody on SmackDown. Literally, SmackDown, the women's division, I hate to say it, it looks like the Charlotte show.
No.
Well, I mean, duh.
Yeah.
Because it's whatever show Charlotte's on. No, well, duh. Like,
I mean, again, she has no
Or
supporting
Bianca
talent.
Belair.
Yeah, Bianca, Damage Control, that's it. Like,
No, I mean, poor Bianca Belair. It's a matter of time before she loses that belt to Charlotte.
oh, absolutely.
With those two being on the same show, matter of time. Matter of time.
Which is shitty. But yeah, it's
Yes.
it may even be as soon as Night of Champion. And maybe they rebrand those belts at Night of Champions, so that Charlotte can be the inaugural fucking first ever WWE Women's Champion. I
hate it.
because that's exactly what they did with the fucking when they retired the butterfly title. Who'd they put the fucking women's title on?
Charlotte Flair.
Accurate. She was the last butterfly title holder. She was the first women's W title holder. She was like a 15-time champion, whatever. Now, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's absolutely gonna happen, and this is, again, built for her to have that show. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, like, Raw is super deep with women and absolutely could pull off women's tag team titles. I don't think that SmackDown can. Which is sad, because I think that Isla Dawn and Alba Fire are a great team. They had an awesome feud in NXT. I know that's not something that a lot of people have watched recently, but like Alba Fire, the former Kaylee Ray, and Isla Dawn started as like mortal enemies, and like have come together in this weird fucking like witchy kind of fusion Stevie Nicks thing to make a pretty fun tag team. And it'll be disappointed if their reign and their existence is wasted on SmackDown.
I heard rumor that. Oh, I'm sorry, Pat. Go ahead.
I would say, what about bringing up Nikita Lyons?
She's another one that once. But I mean, like, if you think that Braun Breaker is greener than goose shit, like Nikita Lyons is like greener than fucking that. She's she has sex appeal, which is absolutely something that can sell her. But until she gets her shit together, I think that they're going to have to really kind of work with her to make that not all she is, because she's got that thickness going that everybody seems to love these days, which is cool. I'm here for that, but like it can't just be that.
Right.
So her injuries have been ill-timed for sure, but
Very
yeah,
detrimental.
absolutely, because to Pat's point, if she weren't injured, she may have actually been called up. Zoe Stark's spot on Raw may have been Nikita Lyons, but again, because they're very much built out of the same cloth, except for Zoe's like more built. They actually tagged for a while too until Zoe turned on her during the great period of NXT women's tag teams turning on each other. But yeah, so like outside of pretty much outside of Roxanne Perez and like Braun or Mello, like I'm fine. I'm this is gonna sound really stupid, but I'm here for it. I'm excited for Pretty Deadly on SmackDown. They went from me going, who the hell is this? Why the hell should I care about them? To that, like they have earned my respect and like my excitement. So yes, boy, I'm excited to see what Pretty Deadly can do.
I heard rumor that they were kicking around bringing back the stable of The Way,
which makes sense, minus Theory, obviously, because he's on SmackDown. But
yeah.
He's the heel right now anyway. But and that absolutely could happen, because that's the one thing that I will say that we know that Triple H at least has a very heavy hand in this. Look at all the stables, man. What was one thing that Vince hated more than anything?
He hated stables.
He hated stables. We have Imperium. We have the Maximum Male Models. We have the Judgment Day. We have the New Day, obviously. We have Alpha Academy. We have the Bloodline.
Aren't the New Day and Alpha Academy just
tag teams? Yeah, but I mean, like, I think that they also, I mean, technically the New Day was a stable until Big E got hurt.
Yeah. Well, they weren't. They were on separate shows too.
That's fair. Anyway, I'm continuing. The OC, Damage Control, Hit Row, the LWO, the Brawling Brutes. Like, these are all stables. So like that lets me know that Triple H is absolutely, has a big hand in it. So yeah, The Way would make sense. Gargano's hurt. Indy's hurt. So like right now, I think they just got to kind of wait things out. But yeah, absolutely, I'd be all about seeing The Way on with Dexter Lumis in place of Austin Theory on Raw.
Yeah, definitely. And I know this segues away from the draft, but I never understood why Vince disliked stables so much. I feel like some of the most successful teams that they had in WWE and even sprouted some of the most successful stars came from stables. I mean, DX was a massive, massive hit. The Nation of Domination, that spawned The Rock. The Nation was fun, especially when it was the Nation versus DX. That was super fun. I'm sure there are others, and the Hart Foundation. Like look at the talent that spawned. Brett and Owen.
Evolution.
I mean, they were Evolution, and I think Evolution probably came about because Triple H had such success with stables and saw that there was such success with stables that he really probably pushed Vince a lot and said like, hey, let's do this. Let's try this. If it doesn't work, I'll eat my words. We don't have to ever do it again. But like, let me try it. Look how awesome Evolution was. I know everybody, kind of pairs up Evolution with, the Triple H Golden Shovel era, but still, I mean, damn. Every segment that Evolution was in, I was always watching because I loved it. It was great. Yeah. I don't know. I never understood why. And I mean, I know it wasn't a WWE thing, but hell, the NWO, like that was revolutionary. Before, 90% of the WCW roster was in the NWO, before it devolved. In its heyday, the NWO was a massive success and another one of those things where it's like people tuned in every week to see what the NWO was going to do. So I never understood the heat and the hatred for stables whenever a lot of them were very successful.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on.
Go ahead, Pat.
So let's think in wrestling history. Two of the greatest stables of all time, arguably, were probably, like you said, Ransom, the NWO and the Four Horsemen.
Oh, I forgot about the Four Horsemen.
Were either of those stables Vince McMahon's ideas?
There you go. And that was, Pat, you were absolutely vibing with me there, as much as I fucking, to my chagrin, champ. You're 100% like we're vibing tonight, because that was my thought too, is that, like, yes, stables were successful in the Attitude Era because I think Vince Russo pushed so hard. And he was like, bro, listen, it's gonna work. And Vince had no choice but to listen to him or else deal with more of the, bro, come on, which nobody wants to deal with.
No.
But yes, like, stables were absolutely an NWA thing. Like, that's where War Games came from, was NWA, WCW. Like, that was, and then that was peak, not Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Like, and so you look at the Vince McMahon product in the 80s, which I think is, like, again, peak Vince McMahon. No stables. Bobby Heenan had the family, but, like, I don't know that they ever, like, operated as a stable. I think Heenan just, like, was with them. Same with Jimmy Hart.
Okay.
Jimmy Hart had, like, a group of people. Exactly. He was with them. But
they weren't with each other.
Right. Like very, very rarely would you see the Heenan family all in one place, or, Jimmy Hart's troupe all in one place. So, like, they were very rare in the 80s, if at all, in WWE.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Good
like
point. Good point.
Pat absolutely hit the nail on the head. Stables, as a general rule, are not a Vince McMahon thing. Now, Triple H, being someone that I, can appreciate, a wrestling historian, absolutely looks at the value of stables and goes, man, this is great. Like, how, and like AEW does the same thing. Maybe to their own detriment, really. Like, they have a ton of stables, and they're kind of starting to whittle them down a little bit. But, like, again, Tony Khan, a wrestling historian, is like, stables are part of the heritage of wrestling. Like, this is what makes the product the product. So, yeah. So, like, that tells me not everything I need to know, but that gives me the bulk of the information, that Triple H has a very heavy hand in the process. He may not have the final say, But I think if push came to shove, if Triple H was really adamant about something, and Vince felt diametrically opposed, I think that Triple H would absolutely push back against Vince, and I think that that's kind of the thing that Vince would need, and that's what he's been missing for the last 30 years, is somebody to push back against his bad ideas. I'm interested to see, and I know we're getting on, but I'm interested to see, reportedly, Vince McMahon's idea for Roman Reigns' next challenger is a very bizarre choice. And they don't elaborate as to who it is. They just say it's a very weird choice. And, looking at that roster, I can't think of anybody but maybe Austin Theory or Rey Mysterio that would be a weird choice.
Mysterio. No, I don't want Mysterio. I'd rather have Theory.
Agreed.
I could see it being Rick Boogs. I could see Vince McMahon being a guy who's like, you know what? Let's make Rick Boogs a fucking star.
But the thing is, Rick Boogs will become a fucking star.
He absolutely would.
Fucking would. People love goofy shit, and he's a big guy that can work.
He absolutely is. So, it would not shock me if he's the next guy to face Roman. And again, I think, again, kind of wrapping things in a cyclical nature here. I think if you look at the rosters again, and I've kind of been, pining over them here the last, hour while we've been talking. I literally think that the SmackDown rosters is set up right now as dominoes to fall to Roman.
Sure.
The big keynote challengers are going to be Lashley and AJ Styles. But otherwise, it is just built for guys for Roman to beat. And I seriously think it might go another year until WrestleMania till we see him lose.
It wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't.
But
I don't want it, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. No, that's kind of sad, but it is what it is,
Yeah.
But that's kind of my last piece. Anybody else have anything to add for the good of the order?
Quick thought. How would you feel about Judgment Day versus the OC at Survivor Series?
Love it.
Sure.
Sign me up. Every bit of it. And if that's your war games, if your war games are going to be the OC versus the Judgment Day, I'll take that 10 times out of 10.
What? There's no downside to that. There's absolutely no downside. None.
You get AJ and Finn, you get interactions with fucking the Machine Gun and fucking Gallows with Priest, and fucking you get the goofiness of Dominic Mysterio. The whole thing just screams yes please. So I think that would be a fun one. I don't know, man. I think we need to see how big these LWO legs are. I think that they were literally invented for Backlash. Because
really?
They're going to Puerto Rico, fucking Latin country. So drum it up, man. Rey Mysterio, the LWO, Bad Bunny, Damian Priest, all Latin people, Zelina Vega's in it. This is very much built for a hometown kind of conquering hero type thing. So, even though I don't think that they're going to conquer. But the LWO shirts are selling like hotcakes. Both the green and the red and the white, the Mexican, and then they have the red, white, and blue one as well, which is whatever. But they're both selling like hotcakes. They're the highest sellers on WWE shop right now. So that tells me if their merch is moving that quick, WWE is not going to be so quick to just disband it and get rid of it. And and I'm here for it. I'll even sweeten the pot a little bit and say this. I could see an LWO heel turn at some point when Mr. Andrade shows up and boots Rey Mysterio from being the leader. And
You think he's coming back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The LWO is on the same show as Charlotte, who is the wife of Andrade. Again, I'm not trying to read the tea leaves. And I'm not hearing anything, like nobody said anything. I just feel like Andrade's contract probably wasn't a long one. And given what he's done in the past, it would not shock me if he ends up back in WWE sooner than later.
Oh.
So, like, I think that the LWO would be a good foil for the OC as well. But again, I think we'll see. But yes, I mean, in a perfect world, especially since we do have that brand split again, and especially I think that, you know, Survivor Series should be about the brands. Like, they don't need a fucking, like, goofy ass brand split or brand like pay-per-view. I'm all about SmackDown versus Raw at Survivor Series. I think that's a cool gimmick. And I like the integration of War Games. So absolutely, like, if you're telling me that the SmackDown team is going to be the OC and the Raw team is going to be the Judgment Day at War Games Survivor Series, I will sign up for that right now.
Yeah, I think that would be very entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah,
they'd put on a hell of a match.
Gentlemen, we've been talking for some time, so I think it's time to end the talkies. Poot!
Oh, we don't have a stump. We don't have a stump. He's not going to put his title up for grabs for trivia. Okay,
we do.
I see.
We do. We have a couple, but I know that we're also like nearing the hour 20 mark here. So
yeah.
Plus, he's here. I don't want to lose to him while he's here.
All right. Yeah, right, that's fine.
That would be morally degrading, and I don't think I can take that right now.
He just
think of the face rubbing he could do if we lose to him while he's on the show.
Think of the heart blood. Oh my God. Think of
not going to give the option. Poot!
All right.
Do it.
Thank you all very much for listening to the P3 Podcast. Check out the links below in the YouTube video here for all of your links and all the good people that support us and all the other places and things and stuff like Casual Gaming Dad. That's right, Casual Gaming Dad, our very own Tiger Bomb Tom. You could go check him out over on Facebook. Look up Casual Gaming Dad. Join Casual Gaming Dad's Corner. He streams a lot of really, really fun games. He's been doing the new Fatal Frame. And man, the Fatal Frame games, no matter how much you know them, they are unsettling as hell. You can also find him over on Twitch at Casual Gaming Dad 84 and on YouTube at Casual Gaming Dad. So he streams on all three platforms, really covering his bases. Tom's very talented at streaming and a lot of fun, and also a good guy roundabout. While you're over on YouTube, you might as well also go subscribe or subblurb to Frig Off Ransom. That's right, our very own madman Frig Off Ransom. Subscribe to him over there. Just search again Frig Off Ransom. Go back on over to Twitch. That's right. You're bored. You're clicking through. You're part of the generation that just can't get enough and isn't satisfied watching one channel. No. You go back on over to Twitch. You go on over there. You give a follow to Mr. Beef the Legend. That's Beef the Legend 13. He's been streaming. He's been doing a good job. Very entertaining. Doing 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. You can also, while you're over there, if you want, if you want to follow like terrible streamers and people who don't really entertain that well, you could search Poot the Bard. I mean, you could go ahead and do that while you're over on Twitch. That's a thing you could do. And also back on over to YouTube because you want to see those clippy doodles. You want to go back on over there. You want to see what are those other links, Poot? What are you talking about? We want to go ahead and thank Gould Gaming for carrying the Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast t-shirt in Casual Gaming Dad store. That's right, Casual Gaming Dad has merch, and you want to spend a little bit of money to get that dopamine. That's right, you want to spend that money. Do it at Casual Gaming Dad store over on GouldGaming.com. Again, search on Casual Gaming Dad. A lot of really cool merch and your very own Pittsburgh Piledriver Podcast t-shirt. We also want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler. That's right, Sean Tischler. You're bored with computers now. You're bored with YouTube. You're bored with Twitch. You want to see it in person? Go support your local indie promotion. That's That's right. Sean Tischler, he be working with the local indies in the Pennsylvania area, the greater Commonwealth area. So thank you very much, Sean. Go watch your local indies. That's where you see the stars of the future, like Mr. Johnny Gargano, like Wardlow, and plenty of other people. Pretty much everyone all started on the indies. Not very many like people who just kind of like came up. I'm looking at you, fucking Goldberg. Anyway, I want to just tell, yeah, I know, I'm gotta be careful. I'm gonna summon Dad. But you know what? Now you know what? You're done with social. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be out social anymore. You don't want to see a show. The show's over. You're glad you're going back home. You're gonna get back on YouTube and you're gonna subscribe to the Pittsburgh Pile Driver podcast here. And then whenever Poot decides to quit being a lazy, shiftless layabout, you can also find the audio version of our podcast over on anywhere that you find quality podcasts. That's right, on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, anywhere. You could even open up your mailbox and it's probably playing in there somewhere. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you to Pat for joining us. And we'll see you next time. For myself, Poot the Bard, Barry, and Barty. Yeah. And you see Beef the Legend over there, our wrestling encyclopedia, and depending on what the meta you subscribe to, the rightful Cruiserweight champion for Frigoff Ransom over there. I said depending on what meta you subscribe to, don't get you calm down over there. Don't get too excited. Thank you very much to Tiger Uppercut, Bomb Tom, and his Casual Gaming Daddiness as well. I can't wait to see again Casual Gaming Daddy. Ooh, that felt wrong and gross. Didn't like that. Thank you very much to Pat. Thank you very much for joining us, champ. Thank you, champ. Really appreciate it, champ. Hope you can come back and see us next time, champ. Maybe another time whenever you fool us, champ. Not in person, champ. Anyway, thanks, everybody. Bye.
It's good to be the champ.